All right, welcome to tonight's training, and we're going to talk about, different objections and concerns that people have when we present this opportunity to them. And, a couple of things I want to talk about tonight, guys, listen, is one, your mindset always has to be on point, right? So remember this, it's not about what they're saying, but it's about how you're receiving and perceiving it, right? And so the moments that you can control your emotional responses, the moments that you can stay strong mentally and your belief levels stay high, you're going to be able to respond eloquently in a way that's going to be able to impact them and help them understand your perspective. At the beginning of tonight's call, we saw a little video and he spoke about, man, imagine after this life ends and looking back on your goals and dreams, and they saying to you, man, we came to you but you did nothing with us. They say that the graveyard is the richest place in the earth, because in the graveyard that's where all of the people's potential lays after they pass away, unrealized potential. See, guys, it's okay to have potential. It's not okay to not realize that potential and bring it to the forefront and use it and utilize it. Let me explain something to you. No matter what age you're at today, we've seen that time goes by fast. And the older that you get, the faster that time goes. Means the less and less time that we have to accomplish whatever passions we have, purpose we have, talents we have, right? Now, here's the thing. No matter what, we're going to have to figure out how to earn and make a living, okay? But why not find a way to make a living which creates residual income, which we're going to be focused on here, and maybe generate more money than you would generally make any other way, so that you can then have time and money to invest into the passions that you want. The game time song that we play here so often, that young man came to a nonprofit organization that I led for many years. And he used to come, and perform, for the youth and young adults that I would lead there. And, we had the lights, the stage and everything. He always had a place to come and drop his, newest songs. And, several times we had events with hundreds of people there, and, it was awesome. But, he was just starting out. And I remember telling him, listen, we have a lot of artists that come through here, but you remind me of somebody. When I look at you, I see the potential of a professional artist, a professional musician. And guys, he drops that Game Time song. Wasn't his first song, by the way. He drops many songs over years. Drops that song. It gets picked up. The NBA plays it inside of their stadiums. NFL plays it. Now it's on the NBA 22K, whatever it's called, the video game, right, for the NBA. It's going to be on that video game that's coming out. He got signed, close to 10 million streams later, but he had a passion. He wanted to do something. And, similarly, we all have passions. For a while, guys, some of you don't know this, I actually had an opportunity to travel, and I was making music, and I was making, inspirational hip hop, and getting good play. And I went all around to different states, and I was getting asked to maybe go to places like Brazil and stuff like that, but I had to work a job. And unfortunately, I wanted to dedicate myself to that career at that time. And slowly my music kind of dissipated and went away, just like life does for many of us that have families and responsibilities. And then the job that I loved, guys, I worked close to, probably like 4 or 5 years. And I worked myself into a career where I no longer really had a job. It was really a position of leadership. And I did something I loved for nonprofit organizations. And I did that for about, between volunteer and paid, close to 10 years of nonprofit work. But here's what happened. Even though I loved my nonprofit experience, money was a major factor. I realized I still didn't have enough money to raise a family and pay for bills and take care of things I wanted to take care of and live in abundance, because I didn't want to live broke. Just God didn't wire me that way. I wanted to give more. I wanted to do more. Also, I didn't like that I was restricted. You see, as I would grow as a public speaker and I wanted to do things, I wanted to travel, and I'd have to ask for permission to go travel there or travel here. And here's the point of the story, is your story is probably a little different. But I know that there's things in your heart that you want to accomplish. And the reason I'm talking about this right now is because before you start talking to people about this, I want you to be very clear in why you're doing it. Because your mind has to be strong. Your vision has to be strong. You see, before you get on the charts, before you talk to your next person, you need to think through and realize, why am I doing this? I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a six-figure trader. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a chairman in I Am Academy, right? But why? And you have to have a vision of where you're going. And it's not just about, cars and stuff. And by the way, that's not even a car for me. That's a car that, that will be for my wife, me being able to buy her dream car, right? A house where we can fit a family and have guests over and you guys can travel to and visit, right? I want to go to different places around the world. You see, you have to also, I have an orphanage that I would like to sponsor, right? And nonprofits around the world. You see, I have an idea of what I want. And that idea, that vision is always inside of me. And so as you guys are growing in this business and you start dealing with rejection, when you start dealing with people's objections, see, there's two types of people that deal with rejection. You guys ready? Write this down. There are those that run away and there are those that run towards. See, many times people with the greatest talent, any of my P2000s, P1000s, we've all seen it already. People with great personalities, great talent and abilities to build this business on the marketing side, they start talking to people, and the minute they get any type of rejection, they quit on their goals and dreams, they quit on themselves, and they quit on this opportunity. Because they didn't have a vision strong enough. Okay? And so I want you to really have this idea down of, why are you here? Really think this through tonight. Why are you here? What do you want to accomplish? And why is it important? And why is it important? See, we don't say money is the most important thing, but we know that without it, it's going to be hard to provide for other people. It's going to be hard to not have to work a full-time job doing something you probably don't want to do. You understand me? And your goals and dreams are going to get pushed further and further and further back. And many of us know people that because they let their dreams die, their spirit, their soul, their love of a life and passion starts to die with it. And so this is literally a way, for me, the way, for you, the way where we can get to the biggest financial breakthroughs possible. And when you're sold out and when you're ready, everything else is going to open up. Okay? If this has added value to you, if this has allowed you to cast a little vision, if you understand what I'm talking about today, I want you to drop a 444 in the chat if you are aligned and if this is bringing you value so far and helping you expand your vision and your thought process. I see you, Laith. So let's rock it, all right? Guys, as you're talking to people, all right, you got to be strong. Make sure you guys are watching Bob Proctor. I was literally just watching some Bob Proctor right now before this call. Go Live. There's 3 sessions. They're going to keep adding them. Keep watching those Go Live sessions, guys, right? Be strong, be ready, okay? As you're talking to people, people are going to have different responses, okay? Now, here's some things that I want to mention as a prerequisite, okay? And I want you to understand that when you start this business, everybody's at a different page. See, for all my young people that are 18, 19, 20 years old, right? You're going to have somewhat of a limited, or you may have, not everybody, some 18, 19-year-olds right now have massive circles of influence. But a lot of times, it may be small. You're going to have to develop that, right? Continue to make new friends. Also, remember the image that people have seen you of is the image they're going to receive when you reach out to them. So I'm going to be very frank on this. If you've been a person, like, by the way, me between 13 and about 25, party animal, did a lot of stuff, was always drinking, right? So like I wasn't the type of guy that you wanted to follow when I was younger. Maybe that's been you. Whatever you've been in the past, when you start to talk to those people in your circles, they don't know you as the financial guru yet. They know you as whoever it is that you perceive yourself to be, or have perceived yourself to be in the past. So remember that when you're first approaching people, you're going to have to start breaking barriers. Also, you're going to have to redefine your self-image by what, like just being on this call, listening to this, going on Go Live, listening to that, reading good books. You're going to start to develop yourself. You're going to start to exude a different energy from you, a different spirit, a different person. People will begin to see you differently. But at first, especially old friends, old family, they've seen the dirt that you've lived. Don't be upset if they don't believe you yet, right? Just understand. Don't take it personally. Understand they don't know the new you yet. They still know the old you, okay? And that's okay, because you are about to step up. You're about to show up, and you're about to show people who you really are. You're about to release the potential that's inside of you, and they will later begin to respect that. So as you guys are talking to people, always remember this. Even at P5000, even at Chairman 10, even at Chairman 100, your job is to pique people's interest. So your job is not to explain all of this. And sometimes, this happens to me, we start talking too much and we messed up the PS3 system. I have separate videos on PS3. We're not going to talk about that today. Also on piquing interest, I'm just talking a little bit about it because sometimes we cause the objections, right? So we talked a little bit too much. You put doubts in their mind, not even knowing that you did that. And then now they're asking questions that they typically wouldn't ask. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you guys a brief summary. When you connect with people, right, this is what you say. Brief summary of how it goes. Then I'm going to go into the objections that you guys have put in the chat box, and we're going to digest some of the objections and concerns that you guys are getting. So you always go to somebody, and you pique their interest by saying the same thing that got you interested. For me, it was cryptocurrency. So for a long time, I would say, man, hey, do you know about this whole Bitcoin thing? I've heard about it. I don't really understand it. Hey, well, listen, there's actually, a call that's happening tomorrow at 7:00. If I gave you the information, would you get on there? Oh, yeah, but what is it about? Oh, well, it's about cryptocurrency, but I'm still learning. I don't start talking about cryptocurrency. I'm still learning. But listen, if you get on that call, everything's going to get answered. Boom, boom, boom. And you guys should already know. And if you don't, if you get somebody on a webinar, schedule a 3-way call for after, right? But in that transaction of conversation, when you say, hey, I'm learning how to make money online. Oh, what is it? Well, listen, there's a call. I want you to get on there. Hey, look, I'm learning about cryptocurrency. Hey, have you ever heard of the Forex market? Hey, if I can show you how to build a residual income online, would you get on this call if I sent you the information? However it is you word it to capture the attention of that person and you get them on that webinar, typically there's going to be conversations that happen between the invitation or on the 3-way call or after the 3-way call that they're going to give you guys some excuses. Now, I'm going to go through some of those excuses with you and help you overcome them. But here's what I want you to understand. We are not here to convince. We are not here to convince anyone. But here's what I've learned is working. And this is a side note, asking more questions. So, hey, I don't have enough money. Well, do you need to make more money? Right? So, I had this with a gentleman the other day, who was like, he registered and within a week, he was ready to stop. The sad part was he couldn't get a refund because we paid for it in Bitcoin. So there's no refund. And on top of that, it was his last $200. He was a young dude. I was like, I even asked him, right? Because I'm at the point where I just want to be clear with people and I want people to do this if they really want it. I said, hey, from what you're telling me, when you do this, you're going to have about $4 left in your bank account. Is this something that you want to do? I even gave him a way out. The guy said, yes. A week later, he tells me, I don't know if I want to do this. So here's what I did. I just asked him more questions. So why don't you want to do this? And then he tells me why. But what are you going to do? You just spent all your money. Don't you want to at least give it your month? Or are you just going to throw that away? Do you see value in at least trying? And I asked more questions. And you know what happened? The guy finally believed after all those questions. So when you guys are talking to people, don't try to push your narrative on people. But dude, this is the greatest way in 2020 to make money, and you're going to be financially free. You're trying to force your opinion on them. They have a reason why they believe what they believe. Your job is to help them see what you see, not force it, right? Help open their mind. If you try to pressure people or convince people, most times you'll actually push them away, right? And that's why you'll hear me say, never get angry with people that don't join your business or they stop, right? Like internally you might be upset, but don't you start sending angry messages to people, right? Don't do that, right? Life is 95% what happens to you, 5% how you react to it. Don't get mad and I'm never talking to you again. They should never feel that way from you. Because guys, I've had people randomly hit me up months later. People that didn't sign up at one point, 6 months later hit me up. Imagine I would have spazzed out on them, right? So we're not here to convince. We're here to open up people's hearts and minds to let them think about what we're talking about. All right, so let's look at some of these objections, and you guys can drop more. All right, let's see. Oh, these are some good ones. I love it. I love it. All right, now guys, I'll tell you off the rip, some of these, what I'll tell you is, I may share like my mindset. So if you hear me sounding a little rough, like the other day, one of my leaders was asking me something and I was like, I gave her the rough answer because I was like, I want, but then I gave her the answer that I would share with the person, right? So you need to be gentle, but I might give you guys how I think about it and how you should think about it, but then I'll give you how to word it to the person to help them understand your perspective. Crystal says that one of the objections she's getting is that people just simply say, it's not for me. Okay, it's not for me. So have you guys ever had that happen to you before? Here's what I would say to that. I would ask them, well, what part is not for you? Now I will say this, people that say it's not for them, typically I'm going to believe them. Just going to be honest with you, because somebody who says it's not for me, that means that I have to dive deep into their soul and figure out what's inside of there that's limiting what they see or believe or are thinking about themselves, right? So these are a little bit more trickier because their mindset may be a little negative, it may be a little closed off, right? So they say it's not for me. Ask them the question, well, what about it do you think is not for you? Now, here's what's important about this question, is because maybe they saw too much of the marketing and they thought it was more about trading, or they saw too much about trading and they didn't know about marketing. Guys, you do realize that we are wired in different ways, right? So some of us are wired for art and music and writing. You know who's good at that? Those are people that are good for marketing. Then there's people that are good for numbers and engineering and technical things, right? You know who that's good for? That's good for traders. So what happens sometimes is if somebody says it's not for me, they may not have a perfect picture yet of everything we do. Maybe they just need to trade. You know what I mean? Excuse me, guys. So maybe, they saw a little bit too much of one or a little bit too much of another. And now it's not for me means, man, trading seems impossible. Well, maybe we can help them on the marketing side. Man, I can't see myself talking to people. Okay, hey, maybe, so find out what they're saying it's not for me about, right? And then maybe it's not that it's not for them. Maybe they didn't get a full picture of what we did. Also, maybe not for me means I don't want to learn right now. I don't have time right now. And then you can get into a deeper thing. So not for me, ask them, what about it wasn't for you? Right? And then always try to bring it back to a positive. Well, what did you like? Right? So figure out what they were saying was not for them and then talk to them about, hey, well, what did you like? Try to get that back to a positive. By the way, guys, whenever I open up a three-way call, whenever I take a phone call after somebody saw the presentation, my immediate question is, what did you like the most from what you saw? Not, hey, do you want to do it? That's a yes or no question. You have a 50% chance of failing that question, right? Don't ask them, did you like what you saw? Do you want to do it? Those are yes or no questions. You want to ask open-ended questions, right? What did you like the most from what you saw? Boom, boom, boom. Then that opens a conversation. So I hope that helps you guys on that question. Jonah says that's good. Yeah, because what you don't know is what you don't know. Exactly. Exactly. That's good. All right. So not for me, ask them, well, what about it exactly wasn't for you? All right. Tracy says it's riskier than stocks and they don't have time. Okay, so those are two separate things. It's riskier than stocks. That's actually an incorrect understanding of Forex. Okay, in the stock market, you put $500 into stocks, those $500 can reduce to zero. Okay, just by the value of that company dropping. Okay, in Forex, we leverage 1 to 3% of our account. That means we're only going to ever lose 1 to 3% at a time compared to winning sometimes 5, 10, 15% return. So you're gonna risk 1 to 3% to get, maybe 10, 15% returns, right? And sometimes, man, I've done trades, guys, that grow my account 30, 40%, 50%. And there's people on this call that have flipped accounts and done 100, 200% in some trades, right? So to say that it's riskier than stocks is actually a misunderstanding of information, and they just don't fully understand Forex yet. And at that point, if you don't feel comfortable in how to explain that, your job is to get them in front of a leader who does know how to explain that. Get them in front of me, get them in front of a P600, P1000, right? And we'll help them understand that no, stock market is actually riskier. Why? Because if a recession hits, your account's tanking. Guys, you could have $1 million in a Forex account and the recession tank, and you know what happens to your Forex account? Nothing happens. It's there, nothing changes, right? People that are in mutual funds, when the recession hit, some of them took 15, 20% hits, 25% hits within a matter of 30 days. I know people with hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Close to $1 million in retirement accounts, and it dropped like 20, 30% in 30 days. That's riskier, okay? So never let them say that and sell you on that. You want to say, you know what? That's actually not true. And I want to help you understand that. I want to introduce you to a mentor that can help explain that. If I was able to introduce you to a mentor that knows the markets a little better than I, because I'm just getting started, would you get on that call? And see where they're at. If they're willing to listen, we'll get them the information. Then they don't have time. Okay, here's the thing about this one. Again, remember, we want to help overcome and open their mind, but we won't convince and we won't force. Why? Because if they won't make time, then we can't help them. But here's a way to overcome that, right? I don't have time. Well, hey, are you working a job right now? Oh, well, I'm laid off right now and I'm cooking dinner for my kids. And, I got 2 kids at home. Okay. Do you plan on, is there a financial goal that you want to achieve? Yeah, of course. I want to do this. I want to do that. Well, in your current circumstance right now, do you have any way to achieve your financial goals and dreams? Well, honestly, no. I'm waiting for my government stimulus check. Unemployment hasn't paid out yet. So you say to them simply, well, listen, I know you're saying you don't have a lot of time, but if these things are important, can we make a little bit of time? Can we make 45 minutes a day, maybe before you go to sleep, or, earlier than your kids wake up, could we make maybe 45 minutes a day? Guys, here's the thing. If somebody truly has goals and dreams, they'll find 45 minutes a day. And if they won't, it's because they have a whole bunch of things that they're doing already, some that are already important to them, or some that aren't important to them, but they're putting too much importance in, and guys, I'm not embarrassed to tell somebody that's telling me they're broke that they need to cut some stuff off. Oh, but I had this person recently, telling me about how much they're volunteering, for some stuff that they're not getting paid for. And I'm like, well, is that paying you? No, it's not paying me. Oh, okay. But you have financial issues. You're telling me you need more money, right? And if a person doesn't get it, I'm not here to convince. You're not here to convince, but help them understand sometimes their own method of thinking may not be the most proficient, right? So I don't have time. You got to figure out, okay, does this person have goals and dreams? Yes. Do they have enough money to accomplish all those goals and dreams? Probably not. That's why they're talking to you. Are they willing to find time, 30 to 45 minutes a day, to get this started? Listen, at first, guys, people may not be able to give you 3-4 hours a day at first. You know, just being honest with you, especially if they have a life, if they have a job, if they have a family, you know, but sell them on they can do this on 45 minutes to an hour a day. Eventually they'll learn to put more in if they need to, but get them to budget in their day. You know, there's a daily time budget, it's 24 hours. You can break that down into 15-minute increments, you know, 30, 40 minutes in the morning, 30, 40 minutes in the evening, and you're learning a new skill set, right? Because if not, they're just going to keep making whatever money they're making at their job, and most people ain't making enough money. We know that, right? So not enough time. We got to overcome that by helping them understand they need to make time, and if they're not willing to make time, then we move it forward. Crystal said, I literally just told my friend this. Yeah, that's it. Marigu says 401k kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, you know, 401ks are great long term. I'm not against them necessarily, but they're very at risk for stuff like this. And guys, if the economy completely changes over the next 30, 40, 50 years, a lot of people are going to be left out. And stocks, you have to wait and you could lose your money if it collapses. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's go to another one. One of my favorite ones. Let's go. Let's attack this, guys. Let's go into the deep one. Oh, by the way, Eric, that one kind of goes with it. You know, I'm too busy. You know, they don't have time. It's kind of the same. It's a scam, or is it a scam? I mean, how many of you guys been asked that, right? Is it a scam? Is this legal, right? Is this a pyramid? Is this a pyramid, right? Those are three different things, but they're all kind of tied into it. Is this legal? Is this a scam? Is this a pyramid? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of different ways, but you just have to understand the heart behind everything I'm saying, and then you're going to have to word this yourself, how you figure it out. Number one, is this illegal? No, the Forex market has been around longer than we've been alive. How many of you guys have heard me say that on a presentation? The Forex market has been around longer than we've been alive. The banks have been trading our money on the foreign exchange longer than we even knew that the foreign exchange existed. The Forex market is the biggest market in the world. It's absolutely legal. It's just that you and I didn't have any way to participate in this market before, one, the information that I'm giving you, or two, a way that we can leverage our money for more money. You see, back, you know, about 20, 30 years ago, you would have needed $1 million to trade on the foreign exchange. But now, because of the power of the internet and brokers, and they give you what's called leverage, you could start with $50, $100, $500, and you can trade in the foreign exchange. So it's absolutely legal. It's been around longer than we've been alive. The banks do it. And by the way, whenever you've gone to a different country before, you exchange your currency for their currency. You just traded on the foreign exchange. Okay. And yes, Forex is legal in the United States. You can Google that. All right. So the legality of Forex, kind of get that out the way. Okay. Now, what about the legality of our company? Well, don't you guys need a license? I had a guy not recently, they were asking me about licenses, right? Well, don't you know about the FDIC? Hey, no, yeah, of course. Listen, and you could even use me. Listen, my mentor, he had a Series 6, a Series 26 license. If anybody knows about investments, it's him. But guess what? We're not an investment company. We're an educational company. Going back to the legalities of our company. We're not an investment company, we're an educational company. In fact, you never invest with us. We just educate you about the financial markets. And because of that, I don't have to be a financial advisor, and neither do you, because all we're doing is learning about how the markets work, and we're investing our own money. This company does not invest money for us. We never send our investments to the company. We work with something called brokers, and brokers are like banks. You see, you want to relate things to things that they understand. Brokers are like banks, and our brokers are like PNC Bank, Chase Bank, Bank of America, whatever bank it is. And, you know, we have a lot of people in Canada. It's just like that, but your broker is like a bank, has nothing to do with me or the company. And when you send your money there, they are the ones that hold your money. And then when you withdraw, you just withdraw right to your bank account. Simple and plain. Is it legal? Forex is legal. Is your company legal? Absolutely. We're just an educational company, and we don't take investments for anybody. We educate on the markets. Simple and plain. Okay. Now, is it a scam? Well, what part? Oh, well, could you guys scam me out of my money? Well, sir, ma'am, you know, we never have access to any of your investments. And the only thing that you could ever potentially lose is $235, which is what you paid to get started on the program. Right? That's the only risk that you have is $235. if you've seen the information, is $235 worth the risk of you learning from about the biggest market in the world? And is it worth your education? Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's universities, right? You know that university costs $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. Yeah, you know, college and university is expensive. Well, here it's going to cost you $235. The worst thing that anybody could ever scam you out of is $235. And you and I both know that's not a whole lot of money, right? So you want to help them see that their method of thinking is ridiculous. You understand me, guys? When you're talking to people, you want to help them understand your point of view, because your point of view is the best point of view that there is. Not because you're always right, but because you know what you're talking about, because you've been on this training and you've been trained by people that know what they're talking about, right? So when they say it's a scam, well, what part is a scam, sir? You know? Oh, well, my money, you could scam me out of, well, what part of your money? We don't know about your investment account. You could have a $100,000 investment account. We never touch it. We don't know anything about it. If you make money, that we don't make any money off your money. We just want to help you and educate you and work with you and learn with you about these markets, right? The worst risk that you could have, guy, is 235, right? So there's nothing we can scam them out of, because they're not giving us their credit, you know, they don't even give us their credit card information, but you know, they're not giving us their bank accounts, you know, their trading accounts. We don't have nothing to do with that. 235 for education, and then help them understand that that's a risk worth taking. All right. If this is making sense so far, guys, drop me some comments if this is making some sense. Okay. I hope this is working. Now let's talk about the whole pyramid thing. All right. So we've talked about the legalities of Forex. It's legal. The legalities of our company. We're not a financial company. We don't need licenses. Okay. Are you guys a scam? Well, what are we going to scam you out of, sir? $235. You probably spent more than that on groceries at Whole Foods, or you know, you probably spend more than that on your rent. You know, like whatever, like something, sir, that's less than your car payment. What are we going to scam you out of? Like, help them see the ridiculousness of it, right? And again, we don't convince. If they don't want to hear the common sense, remember, common sense is not so common. You're working to become a part of the top 5%. You can't convince 95% of people to be the top 5%. You can only find those that are made to be part of that top 5%. All right. Now let's talk about the pyramid thing. The pyramid. All right. The scary. Is it a pyramid? It's not a pyramid. Is it a? It's not a pyramid. I mean, you know, come on, you guys. It's crazy, right? Look, guys, you have to help when it comes to this question. When people say this word, number one, this is very important. And I used to be the guy that automatically was spinning the wheel on you. If they say, is this a pyramid? You want to know, number one, do they even think that's a bad thing? Because you don't know if they even think about it negatively. You're just assuming that they're being negative. They may not even be. So when they say, hey, is that a pyramid? Is it a pyramid? What is your response? What do you when you say is it a pyramid? You know, what exactly do you mean by that? Ask them. Make them explain to you what their version of a pyramid is, right? Like, what do you think a pyramid is? You know, what do you mean by that? Like, you know, what do you think a pyramid is? And then let them explain it. If they explain it in a bad term, well, it's this, you know, where people are making money off of other people and they sell these products that are no good, and you know, and they're negative. Now you know how to overcome it. But maybe they say something like, oh, well, you know, it's a thing where maybe you grow a team and, you know, people are working together, and you could say, and then you come into agreement. Yeah, you know, it kind of is like that. We don't use the term pyramid. And funny enough, there's actually a new guy with lots of potential. He signed up a few people already. I don't know if he's on this call right now, but he was doing a 3-way call, and he has a huge TikTok influence. I mean, he has, I think it's like 700,000 TikTok followers. And the kid actually, you know, on the call says, oh, it's a pyramid. He called it a pyramid on the call, but he did it innocently, and he did it as a good thing, you know? So first, if somebody says, is it a pyramid? Ask them, well, what do you mean by that? And find out, do they even mean something negative? Now, if they become negative, here's how we deal with that. Well, first of all, I just want to tell you and explain something to you. And I always go back to the products. We have the best trading platform on the world. I believe that in my whole heart. We have the best trading platform in the whole world, and it's super affordable. I mean, you cannot compare. Guys, understand. I know some of us here, we're in all kinds of different financial situations. $235 for what you're getting doesn't make sense when you look at what's out there in the world as our competitors. Just want you to understand that. The level of what you get here for 235 compared to what's out there, you can't even compare it, right? So number one, you want to make sure they understand the value of the platform. Hey, listen, I want to start off by saying this. The platform is the best trading platform in the world. The platform gets results. The platform has 6 and 7 figure traders trading on that platform that are literally giving you trade setups through scanners, through apps. We have algorithm based scanners, over 12 of them, over 3 apps, 150 educators, like 3 different academies, working on a 4th academy now. We've got Bob Proctor. So I want to start off by, making sure you understand the power of our platform. If they believe that, then what I'm going to say next makes more sense. But they have to believe and understand that, number one, the power is in the platform and the platform is good. Okay? Make sure that that's the topic of the conversation. Now, pyramid talk. Sir, here's what I want you to understand. Every company has a marketing budget. Okay? Coca-Cola spends billions of dollars a year to get the word out on Coca-Cola, right? And so what this company does is it takes those marketing dollars, instead of paying Instagram and Facebook ads, instead of paying for, radio and TV advertising and magazine advertising, and they pay people like you and I to share this with people. Now, the beauty of this is you don't have to share anything to make money here, sir or ma'am. All you got to do is trade. If that's what you want, here's my promise to you. I'm never going to make you talk to people that you don't want to talk to. As long as you're committed to learning and having your subscription for the next 12 to 18 months so you can learn and you don't have this pressure of, I gotta pay again in 30 days. Listen, that's a bad habit. I've never had free product in 2.5 years. I've paid my product every month for 2.5 years, never regretted it one time. It's the value of the product. So if they don't want to talk to people, make sure that they understand they don't have to, right? Now, if they want to, we want to help them. And we never want to say, you don't got to recruit. You don't got to talk to people to make money here, because you actually constrict your business from growth. Okay? But you always give them the way out. But listen, if you don't want to talk to people, man, you're good here. We'll help you. We want you to learn the markets. Boom. All right. So the platform is good. The marketing dollars are used instead of advertising budgets. They're used to pay you and me. That's what's called a multi-level marketing. They're taking the marketing dollars and they're paying the field, which is us that want to go talk to people. They're using that money to pay us. Now, sir, do you think it's better for huge companies to continue to receive millions and billions of dollars? Or do you think it's a good thing to empower people like yourself and I, people in Central and South America, different nations of Africa, right? And Europe, and pay people from all around the world where $500-600 a month would change your life? Do you think it's better that a company would pay people and give them an opportunity to make money? Or do you think it's better for them to pay some of these big companies and give them all their advertising money? Sheesh, that's good right there. I mean, you got to use that. Somebody's got to use that. Use that next time. I mean, that was good, right? So help them understand that multi-level marketing is not bad. It's just their perspective on it. Listen to this, guys. When people hear the concepts of pyramids, and they're what they're really saying is, I had a bad experience in the past with multi-level marketing. I got sold a bunch of crap that I didn't need. I had to sell a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to sell, and I wasn't successful at it. Or my mother, my cousin, my uncle was not successful at it. Really, people that are against pyramids are not necessarily against multi-level marketing. They're against their experience of multi-level marketing. Here's a tough one. They have somebody, they acted like they were their friend, or whatever, and then it wasn't really genuine and sincere, and then they tried to sell something to them, and they felt like they were cheated and that they used the friendship, right? Guys, here's what I'll tell you is, always be real. So like, talk about your business, but always be transparent also. Like, that's why I don't believe in this whole thing of like, like, be people's friends because you want to be their friends, right? Like, please do that. Never, falsify friendships, never use your, like, don't do that. When I was in nonprofit ministry, I was actually very reserved about my business endeavors. And most times, unless people came to me, I was very selective of who I spoke to because I never wanted somebody to think that I was using my influence to sell them something. You understand? So just be tactful is all I'm saying. Okay. But most people, guys, that they have a thing about pyramids is because they don't understand. Listen, there's nothing wrong with it. We're not taking advantage of people. We're selling a good product and the company's giving us an opportunity. So instead of them spending all the money into big budget advertising, they spend money on us and they give us an opportunity to do it, right? But isn't this one of those things where the person at the top makes all the money? Well, sir, unfortunately, most companies are like that. In fact, if you think about the structure of your corporation or most corporations, who makes most of the money? The CEOs and the upper management. Now, the beautiful thing about our system is you could actually out earn me. What do you mean? Yeah, if you come in and you decide to market this, you could actually make more money than I do. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, because if you go out and you build bigger and you do this, there's no cap. You see, in a true pyramid scheme, guys, you can never out earn the person at the top. Here, you could out earn anybody that's above you by simply building it bigger and building it faster. There's no limit to you. The company doesn't care about who brought you in. They care about the volume that you're bringing to the company on a monthly basis, right? Also, in a legit pyramid scheme, if they're really going into that definition, a pyramid scheme doesn't have an actual product. We do, and we have a very good product. It's a product that on its own makes money, right? So no way we could be a pyramid scheme because you could out earn the person that's above you. No way that we're a pyramid scheme because we do actually have a product, right? And we don't pay based on the money that somebody gives us. We get paid on sales, right? So for instance, in a pyramid scheme, I would say to Eric, you're going to invest $1,000 into our company. Okay. And with those $1,000, Eric, I'm going to turn it into $7,000 in the next 14 months. And then with the money that Eric gives me, okay, I then pay the next person that comes in and that person and that. And so a pyramid scheme actually was taking investments from people and paying people with those investments, not here. Here, we get paid to acquire new customers into the organization and the company pays you a sales commission. Right? Those are legalities. And if that confuses you, watch the recording. But here's the point. We have an actual product, so we can't be a pyramid scheme. You can out earn the person above you, so we're not a pyramid scheme either. And we're just using the marketing dollars that the company would have to spend anyways to grow. We're spending those marketing dollars instead of on advertising on people like you and I, right? Now, I want to say a quick 2 nuggets, and then we'll move on from this, okay? One, in most product-based companies, guys, okay, you would have to sell a product to make money. So for instance, Eric brings me in. The only way that I make money is if I sell a product, not here. Here, you bring somebody in and they can trade and make money and never has to sell anything. I'm not going to say the names of these companies, but I'm going to tell you the themes of them. No health and nutrition company can do that. You join a health and nutrition marketing company, you only make money if you sell their products. Insurance companies, okay? You can't make money by consuming insurance. You can only make money by selling insurance, right? There's essential oil companies. You don't make money by consuming essential oils. You only make money if you sell it. But in IM, you make money if you sell and you make money if you use the product, you consume the product, right? So this is the only multi-level marketing in the world where you can actually not sell and still make money, okay? I hope this is starting to make sense. Now listen to this statistic, and this is important for you to know it, because if anybody ever says, oh, because all they want to do is market, listen to this. Less than 20% of all of our customers market. Less than 20% of all of our customers market. That means out of 200,000 people, less than 40,000 people are actually marketing this business. That's unheard of in multi-level marketing. In most multi-level marketing companies, you're lucky if the ratio of product consumption based compared to people selling is 50 to 60%. You're lucky if it's about 50 to 60%. Right? I think the legal amount has to be like 55% or something like that, right? of people consuming versus selling. Here, it's like 80 to 90% are just consuming our product, which is trading, which is education. 10 to 20% are actually marketing. So guys, whenever somebody says they're a pyramid scheme, hey, listen, in our company, less than 20% of people actually sell this product. Most people actually just come to trade. We actually have a very good product, and if you don't ever want to sell, we'll totally respect that. Oh, but why do you guys market? Well, sir or ma'am, the marketing dollars that the company would give, or an advertising company, they're giving it to you and me. Do you rather them give somebody else the opportunity, or people like you and me, or people in third world countries that are making $600,000 a month where they had no opportunity, right? Guys, did that make sense? Let's look at the chat. Drop some sevens if this is making sense. All right. Lath says that Chick-fil-A. That's my dog, Lath. You know it. We got that Chick-fil-A. Emily says, Zam. Never heard that one. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, just confirm what I was doing. Yes, go. Bayless says this is fire. Let's go. Those people expose their lack of knowledge and business competency. Exactly. Greg knows, man. We've seen it all. We've heard it all. Yeah, well, now you guys know. By the way, guys, those people on the internet that put those videos up, have you guys seen them? Those people that put those videos up of like, oh, you know, I am is a scam and all this. You know what's crazy? They're usually trying to sell a course, and they usually were in IM. Guys, I know people that are the sickest traders, and they will never admit it, but they learned in IM Academy, right? When it was IML a few years back. And now they have like their own thing that they do, and they bash us. And it's like, dude, you learned from our CEO. You learned from our company, but now you don't give us props? Dude, you got something coming. So guys, remember, being hated is fine. First you get hated, and then you get imitated, right? Like, that's just how it is, right? But when they see us winning, they're going to get constipated. You feel me? They ain't going to have no control. We taking over everything. 1 million customers deep. All right, let's see. All right, guys, I know we're going over a little bit, but let's go into a few more. All right. So Maricruz says, I heard people lose money. You know, so let's say, Maricruz, you said that to me. You know, I heard people lose money. Maricruz, people lose money in everything. You know, in life, there's always risk. But personally, I'd rather take a risk and fail than never take a risk at all. But here's what I'll tell you. The way that we trade, okay, we teach you how to protect your account. When you start, you're actually going to start with a demo account. Guys, always talk about the demo account, because when people think about investing and trading, they think they need thousands of dollars. Keep it small. Keep it simple. You're going to start with a demo account. So guess what? You're not going to lose any money. It's monopoly money. It's play money. And even when you do open a live account, guess what? It's going to be a small account. I usually tell people between $100 to $200 is more than enough. And if they don't afford that, $50 is fine. And most of these brokers, you know, they're going to start with a small account. So if they're scared of losing money, help them understand, listen, you're not going to even need that much money to get started with. Demo account, $50, $100. And then if they still don't buy, hey, listen, you know, is your financial situation a big one? Yeah. Well, listen, you understand that it costs money to make money, right? Yeah. Well, listen, it's not going to cost you a lot here, but, you know, whatever it is, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of risk. But listen, I've taken the risk, and I don't regret it, and I don't think you will either. Right? So help them understand risk is not a bad thing. You know, some people are just scared. So help them understand they're not going to be risking their life savings here. Guys, I've had people with $20,000, $30,000, and they're like, I'm going to put it in a Forex account. No, you're going to start with a couple $100. You're going to learn how to trade. All right? Paying the monthly price. Hey, this is an easy one. One, listen, education out there for this costs tens of thousands of dollars. If you went to a university right now, it would cost you tens of thousands of dollars. You'd have to get student loans most likely, right? Well, listen, here it's $235 with the $175 a month. If that's hard, let's talk to two people. You know, let's get two people started. Let's help you create a list of 10. Let's get those 10 on webinars. I guarantee you that we'll get you free tuition within 7 days. If we can get you tuition within 7 days, do you see any reason why you wouldn't do this? No, I don't see any reason. Awesome. Listen, here's my link. Let's go open it up right now. Boom. By the way, guys, that's my closing phrase, right? You know, if like what we're saying, you know, do you see any reason why you wouldn't do this? That's the closing sequence. It's kind of mind trick. Do you see any reason why you wouldn't do this? Hey, well, knowing the price and in knowing what we're doing, do you see any reason why you wouldn't do this? No, I don't. Okay, awesome. Hey, look, Eric, go ahead and send that link, and then boom, I open it up. You know, so Somebody says paying the monthly price. Listen, if I could help you get that monthly price waived and we can invite some people to a webinar, do you see any reason why you wouldn't do it? No, I don't. Okay, let's get to, here's the link, boom. And you just go right into it, guys, right? So help them understand. They're afraid of that monthly price. They got to know 2 people. Now, again, if they're not going to be willing to look for 2 people, you and I can't help them. That's the sad part. But most people, if you help them think that way, they'll get it. All right. Crystal, what do you mean by I don't know how to do that? I didn't understand that. Eric says, I'm too busy. I don't have the money. I'm not passionate about Forex. Okay. So I'm too busy. We spoke about, I don't have the money. We kind of spoke about it, but what I would say is, guys, if people don't have the money, one, help them think creative ways. Do you have a credit card that you can put it on? Oh, well, I do, but I didn't really want to. Hey, I understand. But if we can help you make money, do you see that it's worth putting it on a credit card for now? And then we try to make you more money so you can pay it off. That's true. I don't have a credit card. Hey, well, do you have a family member or something that you think would support you in going back to school so you can make some money online and bring in an extra income? Well, I can talk to my uncle, my mom, my sister, my brother. Boom. So help them get creative. I'll share with you guys something I did once. I had a guy, this was in my old insurance company. I had a guy that he was in my office. He was sharp. He came in a suit to my office. And I go through the presentation and he wanted to do it, but he didn't have the money. I never had done this before, but I had heard about it. And so I had nothing to lose. And I said, hey, listen, what's your favorite car? What's a car that you would love to have? And he said, honestly, man, I don't even care about cars. I said, well, what do you care about? He says, I care about, traveling. I want to go around the world. I was like, well, where would you want to go? Man, I'd love to go to Egypt. And I said, well, who would you want to go with? And he said, man, I'd love to take my family to Egypt. And then he said, and then I said, well, how much would that cost? He's like, man, I don't know, like $10,000, $15,000. I said, hey, man. And then I said the price of my platform. So let's say here, $235. So listen, man, what if I told you right now, I can get you to Egypt with your entire family for $235? How would you do it? I kid you not. The guy got up, went outside, got a check from his mother. This guy was like 30 years old. Got a check from his mother and paid for the platform. Boom. I sold the guy on Egypt, right? Help them understand, because you see the reason that people say things like, I don't have the money, they have the money, but they just don't believe that this is important enough. Guys, understand, them getting started with $235 could potentially make them $100,000, $1 million. Is it worth for them to get creative? So tap into their why. They don't have the money. What's your dream car? A Bentley. Let me ask you, if I gave you Bentley keys right now for $235, how would you do it? I know you would do it. I know you would do it. How would you do it? Man, I got to talk to my dad. Let's talk to dad. In fact, let's get dad on this call right now. Send them the Zoom link. Let's talk to dad right now. See, guys, I want you guys to be like this. I want you to picture the person in front of you is the most important person in the world. And I also want you to remember this. If you don't get them started today, you could lose them forever and their future is going to be impacted. Don't get off that call if you don't have to. Help them understand, help overcome their mindsets and get to that next level. I see some Max the Mentor. Let's go, guys. Love you guys. I said trading and they like, I don't know how to do that. All right, we'll talk about that. Traders on YouTube. LOL. Ha, I love it. I seen that. One of my guys freaked out and wanted out. Okay, Bayless, what was it that they freaked out about? Tell me. Drop it in here, okay? All right, we're going to go through a few more, guys. I hope you guys are getting value from this so far. Let's see what we got. All right, I have no time. We talked about that. I don't know how to do that. We talked about trading. I'm too busy. I'll just talk about I don't know how to do that. So they saw trading. They don't know how to do that. Hey, it sounds like you need more information. There's actually another webinar happening tomorrow at 8. Can you hop on that one? Boom. Hey, I still don't get it. Hey, listen, let me get you on one of my mentors. And then maybe, and guys, listen, on the 3-way calls, don't be afraid to switch up the mentor. So if you always do a call with myself, with Amberly, with Tommy, with Greg, switch it. Hit Mike up. Yo, Mike will do it. Mike's working. He's the hardest working guy I know. Switch it up. Get somebody that's more trader focused and get them on. But here's the important thing. Don't get caught up. I don't get caught up in this no more. Don't get caught up in answering every trading question, because there's people, if they're, especially if they're engineer type, the way that they think, they're going to ask you every question in the book. This is not the time for that. Your job is to help them understand. They're going to learn on the platform. I don't understand how to trade. Exactly. That's why we joined the platform. On the platform, it's going to explain everything that you need on there. That's why we need to get you registered and need you to get access to the website so that you can learn. So don't worry. I didn't know how to trade either when I started. And for you guys, I'm still learning how to trade. But on the platform, you're going to learn, right? So if they say they don't know how to trade, that's actually normal. That's the reason why they need the platform. And then maybe get them on a 3-way call or on another webinar. Typically, they just need more information. Too pricey, that's not the excuse. You have to sell them. If they say it's too expensive, you need to express to them that other platforms are tens of thousands of dollars. And to learn this skill set costs money. And anything, guys, trust me, anything that costs less than us, what they're going to get is less than what's in our basic academy. Maybe they'll add some webinar in there, here and there. There ain't no scanners. There ain't no apps. There ain't no 150 educators. There's nothing out there that's like us, guys, right? So if it's too pricey, you got to help them understand what the competitors are out there saying, right? Let's see. It's too difficult to trade. Hey, listen, you see these charts, and I'll show them TradingView. When I saw these charts, I knew nothing. But what if I told you that every financial problem you've ever had can be solved in these charts? Would it be worth learning? Do you guys, when I do a presentation, you guys hear me say these, right? These questions, there's a reason why I ask these questions, right? You see this chart? If you could solve every financial problem you've ever had, would it be worth learning? Yeah. Then that's it. That's it. I mean, you're either going to be broke or you're going to learn something new. That's it. Like, there's no other. Either what the person's doing, unless they're a multi-billionaire, unless they're going to learn something new, they're going to stay right where they're at right now. And if they want to go to college, it's going to cost them another $30,000, $40,000 to maybe make another $20,000 a year. Not interesting enough. If they're not interested, guys, what didn't you find interesting? Was it the part about making money or helping people? What part wasn't interesting? Was it the part about making money or helping people? Oh, well, it's just boring. Again, guys, if they have low mindsets, hey, listen, some of you guys know the story. Nobody recruited me to be here. I came after this. You're either the right person or you're not, right? You are the right person, but the people you're talking to, they may not be, maybe not in that season. So don't take it, personal if like, I don't want to learn something new. I'm okay with working at Mickey D's, man. They got a 30-year plan. That's okay for them, bro. Let them do that. Hey, I love being a mechanic, bro, and I don't see myself doing anything else. You can't change that. They have to get to a life experience that causes them to need or desire more for them to want to learn. So if they just aren't interested, hey, man, thanks. Ask for a referral. Hey, do you know anybody that this would work for? Check this out. I had a guy watch the webinar yesterday. It's not for him because he has a great wine business and he loves food. So he's a foodie. He's an artsy, Italiano, European type, right? He doesn't want to learn numbers. He's not really money motivated. He loves more the arts and the wine and this and that. He's okay with where he's at. Okay. But you know what he does? He says, yo, I got this guy in Argentina who loves international business and I want to connect you with him. Boom! Get a referral. If somebody tells you guys they don't want to do this, ask them if they know somebody who may want to do this. Get a referral from them. Even if it's one, guys, that one person could become a chairman, right? So that's good. Guys, if they tell you they're not old enough, here's the thing. They're not really supposed to sign up unless they're 18. That's just the truth. And here's the other thing. If you sign up somebody who's not even 18, they probably ain't going to last very long. They're probably going to quit, and it's probably going to be a headache anyways. But if you guys have that issue, contact me or your leader directly, and I'll coach you through that just a little bit more. I need to shop around. What do you want to shop around for? Oh, I want to look at other Forex things. Well, I mean, yeah, you could do whatever you want, but here's what I'll tell you is nobody's going to give you the service that we're going to give you in the community that we're going to give you. I'm telling you that right now. And if they and if their price is comparable to ours, their platform probably is garbage compared to ours. Just call it out for what it is. And then if they still want to shop around, listen, shop around, they don't shop around, guys. Being honest with you, unless they were already looking for Forex programs, they're not shopping around. They say that to give you an excuse to why not start today. So, what do you want to shop? What is it that you want to shop around for? A better price. I'm telling you right now, there's no better price out there. There's no better price out there for what you get from us. Impossible. Our elite pack, nobody's going to compete with that. I want to see we have 150 traders. Most programs are based on one trader's perspective. Did you guys know that? The programs that are out there that cost $10,000 sometimes, it's usually just one trader's analysis or type of trading that you're going to get with that program. That's it. We've got 150 educators and the number keeps growing. So I want to shop around. It's a bogus excuse. They just don't want to make a decision. All right, let's see. Crystal says, I'm here to change one person in the world at a time, never take it personal ever. Absolutely, man. It's all good. It's all love. And a lot of times these people circle back and realize, man, I should have kept working. I should have stuck it out with you guys. All right, just confirmed. What else? What else? Let's see. It feels like people are scared to challenge themselves. Guys, understand, look, it's uncomfortable to grow. It's uncomfortable to learn something new, And when people see the graphs and the terminology, it could be threatening. It's threatening to their comfort level. And especially if they're in the US or in a first world country, people like to be comfortable. People like to chill, you got to be a go-getter to make this happen, whether in trading or in building, or in both. You got to be the type of person that, you wake up wanting to accomplish something. You got to be the type of person that you wake up trying to impact people's lives. Guys, I've lost count of how many Platinum 1000s we have in our organization, right? We've got two Platinum 2000s, and we've got like 3 or 4 Platinum 2000s bubbling now, many Platinum 1000s bubbling, countless Platinum 600s, infinite Platinum 150s. A lot of you guys are going 2 and 3. This is impacting a lot of people. Guys, there's going to be 6, 7-figure traders, 8-figure traders coming out of our team. And if I would have quit years ago, if Greg would have quit, if Elaine and Katie would have quit, Mariano would have quit, if Mike Sotero would have quit, you guys wouldn't be here, man. So, keep that in mind. You don't know who you're going to impact through this opportunity. Let that be your focal point. Your why is what's important. The people you're going to impact are important. Listen to this. You got this crazy guy over here, this crazy girl. She sends you a message. It's a scam. I hate you. Never talk to me again. But you got this person over here that says, thank you, Steph. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Amberly. Thank you, Greg, for sharing this with me because it's changed my life. One of my leaders today sent me a message to me and another leader about how one of our leaders' leadership was impacting another person. And the person says, man, I'm so grateful because you've just helped me so much and believe in my life. In my life. A few weeks ago, I was on a call and a young lady in our business, she starts crying on a Zoom call to her team because of how grateful she was of myself and her leader's leadership and how much we blessed her. Guys, that's what it's about. I don't care about the naysayers. I don't care about the 100 people that said no. I care about the 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 that said yes and went all in with me. Not everybody's going to sell out to this, guys. But here's what you need to know. All you need is between 3 and 12 people that absolutely sell out and say, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to learn this till I learn this. I'm going to grow this till I grow this. And guess what? Your day of breakthrough is coming. It's just a matter of time. All right, guys? So listen, I hope that this has been, a value add to you. I hope that this has given you some perspective on how to deal with people. If you guys have received tonight, if you feel that you're going back out with a little bit more than you came in, drop a 222 in the chat. if you guys have received from tonight's call.